All right, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to get all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikar Kadash. Double honors to my apostles and bishops with great millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect that's pushing the word of truth, sincerity, all right? All right, this Yashar Kabar from the Wisconsin camp branch. Just a little short lesson, man. I was thinking, through the spirit, the title was Lessons Bring Blessings, man. Okay? Once you hear the word, apply the word, and do a lesson, that brings blessings, man. Okay, it's just a short little quick, a quick lesson, but hope this lesson is edifying, so I'm gonna go to Revelations chapter 1, Salakia 1 verse 1. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, the revelation of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which the Most High gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must surely come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bear record of the word of the Most High and of the testimony of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and of all things that he saw. All right. Now, verse 3 says, blessed is he that readeth, okay, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, the prophecy of the scriptures, and once we hear the word, the prophecy of the scriptures, and we got to read upon it and apply it and also understand it. Okay, we say, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. It's all about reading. It's all about knowing a prophecy, and it's also keeping these things that were written, keeping the things which are written, which are applying it. All right. So basically, the blessings come from hearing the lesson, okay, and applying it, and also the elect, are blessed because they receive the understanding. All right. So that's what it's all about. Lesson bringing blessings, man. And also the elect, are blessed because they receive the understanding, they receive the prophecy, they receive the truth. All right. So that's why you got to constantly read, and also goes for me as well. We all got to constantly read and understand the scriptures and understand the lessons, and also bring blessings, because, Great Millstone is the only camp that do lessons, and receive blessings. Okay. So yeah, man. So that's why the scriptures say, that's why the third verse say, blessed is he that readeth. All right. Now let's go into that word readeth real quick.
Strong's G 314. Anagnosko.
Goes back to Anagnosko, right? It say to distinguish between, to recognize, to know accurately, and to acknowledge the scriptures, acknowledge the word. Okay. All right. It says, and to know again, by extension, to read. All right. It's all about applying it. It's all about repetition. That's what the Lord requires us to do. Okay. Because, the blessings come from hearing the lesson and applying it, man. Okay. I'm going to go to James. James chapter 1, verse, I'm going to start at 21. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and what's they say right here? And superfluity and naughtiness. Superfluity, what that mean? Let me see. I'm going here and look at that.
Strong's G 4050. Perisaya.
It says superfluosity, superiority. If I can pronounce it right. All right. the wickedness remain over in a Christian form from his state prior to conversation. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to James chapter 1 verse 21. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity. All right. Superfluity and naughtiness, and receive with meekness and engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. It says, but be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So if you hear the word from the prophets, okay, and you're applying the word, and doing what Yahushua says, that also brings blessings. Okay. So you just can't hear the word and you just can't hear the word and just don't do it. Like you hear the word, like say like you hear the word from a prophet, hey, you ain't supposed to be eating no pork, you ain't supposed to be committing adultery or things of that nature, that wicked nature. Okay. Oh, I got you, brother. Woo. Okay, I hear you. And then brother bring out the scripture for not committing adultery or for not eating the wrong foods and stuff like that. And then he hear you, but he's not going to apply it. Okay. I'm just using that analogy. It says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. All right. It says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. Okay. So if you will hear the word and you're not applying the word, then you faking, man. All right. You on some BS, to be honest, to be straightforward. It says, for he holdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of a man he was. Okay. It says, but whoso looketh into a perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deeds. All right. So you hear the lessons but don't apply them. Okay. So basically, he who applies the word, okay, receive the blessing. Okay. So if you applying the word, read and do a lesson, those three, like I say, lessons bring blessings, man. Okay. And meditation of the word plays a big part in this truth too. So let's go to Sirach 14 and start at 20. Well, this one here to quit anyway. This song Sirach was Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 verse 20. It says, blessed is the man that doeth meditate good things in wisdom, and that receiveth the holy things by his understanding. Okay. All right. So basically meditating on the word and wisdom. Okay. You meditate on the word and wisdom. That brings lessons. Okay. And blessings. Okay. Like you hear a brother speak, you watch a brother videos, and then it's a trigger word a brother say, then you use that trigger word to bring a lesson and also bring a blessing. Okay. Thinking on the scriptures, and lessons increases wisdom. So that's a blessing within itself, man. All right. So it says, blessed is the man that doth meditate good things in wisdom, and that reasoneth of holy things by understanding. Okay. So the thing is, you gotta read, understand, and apply it, man. All right. And also, create a lesson. It goes for the men of the Lord. This goes for the elect. Read, apply it, bring a lesson, You know, you get a blessing because the Lord will reward you, man. He'll bless you behind that, man, because you're doing His word, you're doing His work. Okay. I'm gonna go to Proverbs. Proverbs 28, and I'm gonna start at 1. No, Salakia 28, 22. Salakia. Proverbs 22. And 17, it says, bow down thy ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thy heart, right, which is your mind. Goes back to the Hebrew word lab, right, which is your mind, unto my knowledge. All right. It says, for it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee, they shall withal be fitted in thy lips, that they trust may be in the Lord Yahweh. I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. It says, have not I written to thee excellent things and counsels and knowledge? It says, that I might make thee known and certainly of the words of truth, and thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that sent unto thee. Okay. So basically, you know, applying your mind to the knowledge of the Lord. So once you apply the knowledge that the Lord gave you, you know, you got to use that knowledge and understanding to bring a lesson. Okay, and get a blessing, man. Okay. So yeah, so you gotta bow down your ear. All right. So you bow down thy ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply, okay, apply thy heart, your mind, your spirit unto my knowledge. Okay. That apply real quick. I think I looked that up already. I'm gonna look it up again up in here.
Strong's H 7896. Sheath.
I say something. Put lay. To set, station, to point, fix, set, mind to. To constitute, make. All right. Make one something. Make like perform. See, you gotta perform this. Once you read, once you understand, you gotta perform this knowledge. Okay, you gotta put it to use. We all do, man. To impose, to set upon. All right. And that's what lessons bring blessings all about, man. All right. I'll go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Yep. Deuteronomy 28 and 1 is saying, it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh, thy power, and observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. All these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. Okay. So, hey, we didn't hearken unto the Lord thy power. All right. So that's what led us into these the blessings. And these the blessings we supposed to receive, you know, because understand that, you know, hearing and obeying the word brings blessings, man. So we didn't back then, we didn't hear and obey the word, man, because Jake was going off back then. All right. So we didn't hearken to the voice of Yahweh, you know, Yahweh Shema Shai, man. So that's why we're in captivity now. So the best thing to do is, you know, hearken to Yahweh Shema Shai now, you know, and do his bidding and do his work. You know, this is why I brought the scripture out, because this is Deuteronomy 28 chapter, you know, the blessings and the cursings, man, because this what we should have had, you know. So the blessings could have overtook us, but we didn't hearken to the Lord. Okay. So we didn't hear and obey the word. So now it's the time to hear and obey the word now before we get up out of here. All right. And hold on, let me see something real quick. It's that Revelation 22:7. And I'm gonna close out. This Revelation 22:7. It says, "Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book," which is the scriptures. Okay, keep the words. Okay, you say keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. All right. It says, and I, John, saw these things and heard them, and when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which shew me these things. Then said unto me, Thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship the Most High. Okay. All right. So Yahweh Shai coming quickly, man. So the best thing we got to do is keep his word, read and also do the lessons, do our lessons, man, and get some blessings, man, before he come back, and apply it, man. Apply it to our heart, to our mind, to our spirit. Okay. But hope this edifying, man. It's just a short lesson, but till next time, shalom.